All right, all right, all right. I think we are live. I think we got it right this time. We tried the last time. I think we had some technical difficulties. So I'm going to give you guys about 30 seconds to leave a comment. Let me make sure that everything is good before I get going. We were trying to go live about 10 minutes ago, but everything did not come up as I thought it would. So we're going to take a second to make sure that we got it right this time around. And then we're going to go ahead and jump into the show. Looks like we're good because I got people signing on. All right, showing up there. Let me double check one more place because, again, we had originally scheduled this for 4:40. Some things were happening where I didn't see that we had went live like I had intended us to be. So I just want to make sure that everything is right. Looks like everything is right now. So I can come back and I can do this like I did the first time around. Hey, Chris Jenkins, credentialed member of the media, covering the Carolina Panthers for Charlotte Vibe, a.k.a. Man of the People, here live on Metfield Stadium with a big smile because the Carolina Panthers have now done something they have not done since any of my youngest children have been born. They have won 3 games in a row. They climbed to being above 500. The Carolina Panthers are now 4-3 after a decent game. It wasn't the most exciting game. It certainly had its, watching paint dry kind of moments here. But it was a game in which the Carolina Panthers overcame the problem of winning on the road. Bryce Young, and we will update regarding him as much as we can. Sorry about my eye wiping here, but it is very windy out here. Bryce Young overcoming his, problem with winning on the road. Some might say, well, he didn't finish it out. Well, he got through 3/4 of it, and he didn't make any major mistakes, so I'm going to give it to the man. But Bryce Young and his team overcome their 1-17 on the road to get their first victory on the road this year in 2025 here in New York. And, we're going to break this down for you as we always do. We're going to talk about the injuries from today's game and the latest statuses that we have on those. We're going to go through some photos. Always got great photos from our photographer, Patrick Snyder. I tend to say sometimes, for some of you out there, subscribe to us just for seeing the great photographs that we have out there. Stats, and then I'm going to break down and give you my thoughts and everything. So that is some good stuff. Want to give a quick shout out to everybody that's signing on right now. We got David Roger, Renee S., Ali Bodrick, Julian Rails, Captain Prince E., Carolyn Chambliss, Captain Prince E. again, Judith. So, all right. Let me see if I can get this to working correctly this time. And I forget which screen I was at that quick. So, here we go. We'll do this. We're going to go ahead and start, as we always like to do, with some photos from the day. And I always like to say our photographs tell the story of the day. Sometimes it's not been the greatest story to tell, but I got to feel into today it is a great story to tell, and we're going to have some phenomenal pictures to look at from this win. So let's go ahead and start with this one right here. What is that? That is a picture of none other than our guy, Jaycee Horn, celebrating one of his 2, not 1, but 2 interceptions of the day. Great stuff there, Jaycee, celebrating. You know what? Jaycee was not the only happy guy out there today. We also had my man Derek Brown celebrating some W, and we had some victories from that as well today. So that's awesome stuff. Great to see. And let's keep it going. Let's just do this for a second. Let's give this team a round of applause for their efforts today. Again, was not the prettiest game, but I think any Carolina Panther fan out there that doesn't want to go ahead and give this team a little hat tip, a little salute, come on, man. Why not? Why not? This team is overcoming. This team is – I'm not saying it's the best team, but it feels like it, right, because we've been dealing with so much right? Excuse me. All right, let's go ahead and continue to show some of these highlights from today. My man, Jaycee Horn, who was having a day that he probably could yawn about, right? Like, there's no action coming my way. There's nobody throwing the ball my way. What are we doing? And but when they threw it your way, got the INT. So, Jaycee, this is exactly why they were letting you fall asleep early on in this game, because they did not want all these highlights that I'm showing of you getting interceptions to take place. And here you saw it on the cover for this thumbnail for this show here tonight. That first interception by Jaycee Horn. I mean, this guy all of his interceptions, I think, have been very, very phenomenal. That one in Jacksonville, this reminds you of that one in Jacksonville where he got the one-handed catch, but did it again today and did it just behind me here when you see me come back on the screen. This is the side of the field where he got that first interception that you felt like, hey, this is going to seal the game. But that's just great focus, great technique, and you got to love photographs because it allows you to dissect other stuff. Reynolds got his hands in the perfect placement as if Jaycee Horn is not going to make it. And then our defender playing the ball as if he's trying to take it out of Reynolds' hand, but JC's like, nah, seat belts on. I got it. All right. Let's see here. Got some duplicate emails here. All right, here we go. We're going to talk about this. We're going to break down all the stats and things from today, right? It's going to be a full look. We get to maybe about an hour-long show today. Here's my guy, Xavier Legette, bringing in the ball. And he brought in several today. Good for him to get back on track because I made a note to myself as I was watching this game that Xavier Legette was having a good day. And before it was all done, you had to say, well, nope, he had a great day. Got to like this young man, cheer for him. Great to see that he had the success that he had today and coming out and continue to rebound and develop. And then you had this photograph right here that many of you probably did not expect to see. This is Andy Dalton getting some game time action. Andy Dalton again coming in that third quarter for Bryce Young. Bryce Young left the game today with an ankle injury, was first listed as questionable to return, and then later was ruled out to return. So we got lots of information that's feeding into me right now. We'll continue to bring that to you guys and share that with you about the latest updates that we have about Bryce Young. By the way, I'd like to share with you guys this. We are independent media, 100% supported by you all, your super chats, your cash apps, your subscriptions, your memberships, and all that stuff, right? So if you enjoyed the content that you're viewing right now, me being live on the field immediately after the game, interacting with you guys, breaking down everything, showing you photographs, videos, etc., please consider a super chat to support us so that we can continue to do what we do. 100% supported by our members. That's why I get to say man of the people. And we don't have anyone writing us those big checks to continue to fly to the games and have the team out here that we have covering. So, again, I want to mention that if you're able to support us, please do. But if you don't have the money to do so, which I understand, just hit that like button, subscribe, help us continue to get to our 15,000 subscribers. The bigger we grow, the more that we can do for you guys, all right? So please consider doing so, supporting us over here at Charlotte Vibe and Independent Media. All right, continue to move through some of these great images that we got from the game today. So Tyrod Taylor came in, and we're going to talk about this. Tyrod Taylor, the Jets coach after the game said he needed a boost. He needed to get some energy going, and that's why he benched Justin and went with Tyrod. And I would say this, Tyrod did make a difference for sure. He did make a difference. It wasn't enough, but he did make a difference. But there you see getting some pressure on Tyrod after he came in there in the second half. And then we're going to see some defense in action here today. Mike Jackson. It's my ball. No, it's my ball. This one was ultimately received by the Jets, counted as a catch by the Jets. But it was great defense, nevertheless, by Mike Jackson to try to prevent that catch from happening. Good defensive effort today by the Carolina Panthers. Good defensive effort for sure by the Carolina Panthers. And you're going to see several of these today, right? And what is that? Celebrations, happiness. And I played it during the pregame show. Give me just a second, guys. Enjoy this photograph while I need just a second to get all of my things in order here. But, again, A'Shawn Robinson right here with the celebration. But something that I had played for you guys in the pregame show was my one-on-one interview with Mike Jackson in the locker room, talking about, what they need to do today to catch a win. But one of the things he talked about was having fun, playing for your brother out there, showing some excitement and having some energy. That's what he said to me. That probably been Wednesday in Charlotte. And you saw it out here today with the defense. You saw them, as you see here, this picture with Ashawn celebrating. You saw another picture with Derek Brown celebrating. You guys can't see it at home on the television screens, but on the sidelines, man, I forget exactly what point it was during the game, but everybody on defense was they were jumping. They were jumping up and down on the side. And I think they might have been twisting too. They were jumping and twisting. And that's playing with some energy. That's playing for, what these guys like to say is my brother out there. And great stuff, man. Good chemistry never hurts anything. Excitement and energy never hurts anything. And I'm glad to see that's taking place for this Carolina Panthers team as they continue to make that change. Here we see Trevon Moreg with the tackle there, getting it in. I think that would have been his sack. That was a good blitz that was called up by Evero to get that sack on Justin, where Moreg came right up the middle, pretty much untouched, and was able to get the sack on Justin Fields. And, man, that was good to see. Good to see. And then we got some pictures here of my man Bryce Young, BY9, scrambling, trying to find a lane down the field. He needs to, Bryce, you got to work on your slide. Bryce's slide almost looks like that of a kid. It's or an old man slowly going down to take a slide. But he's protected himself. So I'm sure he'll improve on that as time goes on. And then here you have some more pressures. And we got sacks today. I'm going to show the stats in a little bit here. We got sacks today. And I didn't say a sack. We got sacks today. Good stuff. And then this is what we're absolutely going to talk about here some more tonight. Chuba Hubbard, Rico Dowdle. Did Dave Canales do a good job using his tandem? Is there some ways that he can improve on it? But nevertheless, Rico and Chuba both got about equal playing time. Again, we're going to show the stats here shortly. But here's Rico in action on a run. I think this would have been after he had the screen pass that was caught, and that screen pass looked wild because he caught the ball on that screen pass and just had three linemen and just at least 20 yards of space, and it seemed like the linemen didn't know all right, when do we go, because Chuba ran past him in a split second. So but they also had to wait a second, right? They had to wait a second for Chuba to catch it and then take off. But nevertheless, that was a great play, great pickup by the Carolina Panthers and Chuba on that run to get the first down and almost score. And this young man right here, let's continue to cheer for Xavier Legette. First-round pick from a couple years ago. Had some struggles this season, had an injury this season, had the dubious record for, what was it, most catches and least yards, something like that Xavier had at some point in that Cardinals game. I forget the exact one, but for him to incrementally, since he's returned from that injury, do better, that is good to see. It's good for Xavier, it's good for the team. I like to see it. So congrats to Xavier. And we did have some moments that we wanted back. We did have some moments that we want some things back. One of those moments being here, Jimmy Horn with a drop. It happens, but we just hope that it doesn't happen often and he continues to improve. That was a pretty solid decision by Coach Dave Canales to sit Hunter Renfrow and get Jimmy Horn Jr. out there. Jimmy had several touches today. If you look at Jimmy's production when he's out there compared to what Hunter Renfrow was doing, and again, we're going to go to the stats here in just a second, you'll see that he was doing very well for the team, giving them some different dynamics, giving a boost, and making some production. So like to see that from Jimmy Horn. And this right here is a photo pre-game. Guys just getting ready to play some ball, getting ready to take on these New York Jets, getting ready to get another victory, which they were able to get today. Man, I'm excited. Leave a comment let me know how you guys are feeling in the comments. Leave a comment to let me know how you are currently feeling about this Carolina Panthers team. Here is a sack. Gotta like the sacks. More sacks today than we've had. Not more. We'll see the final numbers, and I don't know all the numbers off the top of my head. But Nick Scorton with a sack. He got his first sack today and had more than one. So congrats to Nick Scorton on that as well. And then all day we were doing this. Didn't do quite like the Broncos did. The Broncos made it an absolutely 100% miserable day. But this is DJ Wonnum getting some pressure. And I'm not sure if he was able to get the sack or not on this exact play. But I love to see it. I love to see it. I love to see it. So I believe that is going to be all of our images and looking back from today. If another one or two comes by, I'll crank them back up and be sure to share them with you. We're going to go to some of the locker room stuff now. And let's start with the press conference. We'll start with Dave Canales and his press conference. So give me just a moment to pull this up for you guys. All right, so we got it cranked up. So as always, first we start with photographs from the game, and then we're going to take you straight to the press conference to hear from what is normally Coach Dave Canales and then Bryce Young. Bryce Young has not been made available to the media yet, with assume that's because of his injury, and they instead made Jaycee Horn available. Did I just get one? Yep, I did just get another photo. All right, breaking news. Let's see if I have it. That's so corny. I don't like any of my sound effects at all. But I got a photograph that I'm sure you have not seen yet. And if you see it looking this good, you know it came from Charlotte Vibes. So here you go. If I don't get a super chat for this, a cash app for this, some kind of support for this right here, you have not seen this anywhere. And here you have it within an hour after the game. Charlotte Vibe is bringing it to you. Bryce Young in a boot leaving the game. Bryce Young in a boot leaving the game. Give me just a second. I'm just going to let that sit up there for a second. All right. That's your quarterback. So I just got that alert. I feel like Adam Scheffler on air, and you've been down in your phone trying to make sure that you can get everything out. So great stuff by our photographer Patrick Snyder, and hopefully we don't know. I don't know. So I'm getting all this information in as we speak, and I'm going to continue to update you guys on it. And let's go ahead and talk about this injury. We're going to play a clip from Coach Canales as he talks about the Bryce Young Give me just a moment. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and start to play this clip, our Coach Canales press conference, and it's not going to start right at the point where I want it to, but he is going to talk about the injury to Bryce Young, and then we'll capture him talking about a few other things. So go ahead and cue that up for you guys.
Hard work paying off. And then, of course, just can't say enough about the defense coming away with, 6 sacks, a couple of interceptions there, and just really playing excellent football all the way through the game.
Update on the condition of Bryce?
Yeah, Bryce, we're evaluating him for the right ankle. So we're taking all the information and we're going to look at him when we get home some more and see where we're at. We'll let you know.
He twisted it, maybe David tried.
Yeah, on that long third down. Yeah, I was trying to get out of trouble there and got caught up a little bit. So we'll update you as soon as we have more information.
Were you guys able to stick to whatever?
So there you have it. There was Coach Canales talking about not much information right now about Bryce Young. They're going to continue to evaluate. He's obviously fine enough to fly home. There's no big emergency, but there's the unknown about what exactly that injury is. So presumably once they get back to Charlotte, and probably even tonight, they'll go through some x-rays, MRIs, everything that they can do to get a better evaluation of exactly what that injury is on Bryce, and then start to get a determination for how long he may be impacted by that ankle injury that he got. And once again, let me show this picture just one more time because it just literally came in. This is Bryce Young as he's leaving the stadium with that boot on his right ankle, walking out of the stadium. So that is interesting to see. Do me a favor, if you grab one of these photos that we show out there, if you grab it off our Twitter, Instagram, that's fine. We don't mind if you grab the photo. Just do one small favor. Just one small favor. Make sure you give us credit for it because we work pretty hard to get you guys these images that we have here, okay? So next clip I'm going to share with you is Dave Canales on the rotation of his running backs and how he used them today. So give me just a second, and I'm going to cue up Bryce Young. I'm sorry, not Bryce Young. Dave Canales talking about the rotation between his running backs, Rico and Chuba Hubbard.
We just switched some series and let those guys go out there and play some football for us. And, we were able to find some yards in different ways, some screens, some different things like that. And then, as they were trying to, make things difficult, we were able to get the ball on the edge a couple of times with Rico in there. So I just thought it was a good day of both guys running physically, running aggressive, and it ended up paying off for us.
Dave, you mentioned a couple of interceptions, both by Jaycee.
All right, and then I got another clip that I'm going to play for you guys. This clip is going to be about the defense and how well they did today. So this is Coach Canales on the play of the defense today against the New York Jets. Hopefully I'll get this right at the exact spot I needed to for you guys.
Situation where after Bryce went down, the defense was not going to let you lose. And what did that speak to that group specifically?
Again, just great for the players to feel every phase doing their part. Special teams covering the kicks, returning the ball, getting us positive gains there offensively, making yards, making first downs. Third down today, it was a little bit of a rough day for us on third down, but we found some good completions early on to move the chains to give us chances. But I just love the fact that when everybody has a chance to affect the game, and they do, the trust factor and the confidence of the group takes a step and grows.
Coming off opening later in the season, it's going to be the first time that the Panthers have had a 500 record going into week 8 since 2019. Is there any significance to that in terms of
We're one game at a time, and just taking these wins and celebrating the heck out of it. We have to keep that focus because it's required of us to go back to work. We'll celebrate it, we'll look at the film, we'll correct the things that we can improve on, but we have to have that kind of resilience and focus to just take the next step, go to the next game. We got a great opponent coming up, and I cannot leave this podium without, again, just talking about the Jets, Coach Wilkes, and just the job that they did, and our guys to have the resilience to take care of the football was a big deal today, especially with the challenges that we were presented. So really proud of the group and the way we finished.
Alrighty. So give me just a second. You'll see me back on the screen here. How about that? So obviously, I like the way that Coach Canales said I think I forget his exact words, but talked about celebrating the heck out of this victory today here in New York. And I would imagine they will. I would imagine their flight back to Charlotte is going to be much more exciting. I'm excited because of the fact that my photographer and I were talking about it. I said, man, we've been on the road with this team last year, every single game so far, the same thing this season. And every time you travel, it's like, can I fly home with some good smiles and some good spirits? Can I get on the airplane? Can I be at the airport and see other Carolina Panther fans and talk about, man, did you see Jaycee Horn's interception, or what's going on with Bryce? But you still have this positive vibe and connotation to the conversation, right? Haven't had it. So what better place to be in the city of New York, even though I'm not going downtown New York to celebrate or anything like that. But it's great to get a victory on the road. It's great to have some optimism about this team. You know, I do my day after shows, and starting 2 weeks ago when they came back to beat the Miami Dolphins, I said, man, could this team be turning the corner? And everybody was like, I don't know, wait to see. Let's see how Dallas goes. And then we beat Dallas. And, you know, there wasn't a lot of people that thought that we would win today against the New York Jets because of the fact, not that you didn't think that we had the talent. And I'm one of these people, right, wondering, like, what am I going to think about this game? Do we have the talent? Yes. We actually have more talent returning and playing today than we've been having all season. And you just felt like, man, 1-17, that's awful. But we got the victory, and the Carolina Panthers are now 4-3. That is great stuff. So I think I got to do something here for my photographer. What do you? There we go. There's a lot of stuff that goes on behind the scenes to make this show look good and do what it does. So again, big hat tip to my man Patrick Snyder, who works his butt off helping us look good and showing you guys those images right after the game. He's running around right now getting some images for me that we put up on social media, yada, yada. But let's continue to rock and roll through this. And big shout-outs also to Ashley Stroline, who is working, you know, I want to feel like I'm the big company, right? But she's working remotely in Charlotte. I don't know where she is, actually, to be honest with you. But she's feeding to me all the clips that you guys are seeing on the video screen to show you some of the press conference. And let's go to Jaycee Horn. Jaycee Horn came to the podium today and spoke with the media, so we got to share a little bit about my man Jaycee Horn and what he was able to do, because he did some big things today. Jaycee Horn on capitalizing on missed opportunities today. No, I'm sorry, not missed opportunities, but on opportunities. Jaycee Horn capitalizing on those opportunities. Here we go.
Your career, you've got 3 in 7 games. I mean, what's different this year?
Just capitalizing on the opportunities. You know, I feel like I've been out a lot in my career, so just putting together a string of games and, you know, having opportunities to make plays on the ball, you just try to come up with it and make the most of it.
The one-handed snags, is that just a little bit of extra sauce, or just the position you happen to be in?
A little bit of both. A little bit of both. I practice them in practice. Y'all see, like, indie drill and stuff like that. I catch a lot with one hand, but, yeah, it just happened to happen like that.
All right, so the next clip of Jaycee Horn I'm going to go and share with you guys is Jaycee on his first 2-game interceptions of his career. Give a big shout out to Ashley for helping feed this content to me so I can quickly get this queued up for you guys.
You as an elite corner, and it seems like this year you kind of you're quiet, you're subtle with it, but you're letting your play show on the field.
Yeah, I mean, people they gonna do it. They gonna say what they want, question what they want. But you know, all I care about is the coaches. Like I always said, the organization believing in me, and the players in the locker room. That's the only people I need to believe in me. And I'm just keep grinding, trying to get better every day.
All right, so we got one more clip that I'm going to share with you guys. This is, again, some highlights from Jaycee Horn's press conference with the media. This is Jaycee on the defense feeding off one another. Again, Jaycee Horn regarding the defense feeding off of one another, and they did that. Again, we're about to go to the stats here in just a second.
Yeah, definitely. I think they describe it as like flow state, where we just, like me personally, I wasn't even thinking about the situations because like the way we was all, you know, playing on one accord, I knew we were gonna keep dominating on the defensive side. So, yeah, when everybody playing good like that, it made the game more fun, you know, stress free, and we all just out there balling. So, you know, we're gonna try to, you know, reach that every game. Alrighty. So give me a second here. And again, I gotta multitask for a second. This is live TV, but I gotta get that photograph out from Bryce in the boot. Just a moment. And not one super chat yet. Not even $1.
3-game win streak live from the field immediately after the game. Photos of Bryce Young in a boot. I got to ask. Sometimes, you don't get it if you don't ask. But give me just a second. Got to get this picture out there to the world. All right. Getting this image of Bryce Young in the boot out so that we can continue to share the news. All right. So there was Jaycee Horn talking about taking advantage of some opportunities and the defense playing off of one another and his attitude of kind of, just being about all business. But, Derek Brown, these guys, these leaders on this defense, especially the ones that have been around for more than a game or two, a year or two, like Jaycee, like Derek Brown, you don't see them, the guys on this defense, you don't see them getting bigger than the moment excited. And what I mean by that is you'll see them, like I showed you the picture of Derek Brown. I showed you some pictures of Jaycee Horn, right? You'll see them celebrating in the moment. But after that, they're like, hey, we got to win next week. Like, yeah, this feels good today, but we got to win next week. So I think that's good to see that kind of behavior from the leadership of Jaycee, from the leadership of Derek Brown, to say, absolutely, and echo what the coach says, live in the moment, celebrate, 24 hours, and then you got to go get on to the next one. Because this team has not had sustained success in a very long time. I think it's been about 6, maybe 7 years since the Carolina Panthers have made the playoffs. They're tied with one other team for that amount. And then, unfortunately, the New York Jets. I say unfortunately because, I'm a fan of the game itself, and I think, man, that's tough for a fan base. But unfortunately, the New York Jets haven't made the playoffs in about 14 years. So, but back to the Carolina Panthers, you want to have that change. You want something to continue to improve, and you need leadership like that from those guys, and guys that are dominant, right? Derek Brown, dominant. Jaycee Horn, dominant. You got a dominant guy up front. You got a dominant guy, not completely in the back, but in the back, and you got some stuff that you could work with. That defense certainly is something that helped carry us today. That offense didn't do what we needed to do it all today. I'm going to break that down some more for you guys here in just a second. Got our first super chat. Got 2 super chats. Thank you. I had to beg for it. Nah. I appreciate you guys, and I'm sure you appreciate what I do. And the contributions always allows me to keep doing what I do to fund what we're doing here at Charlotte Vibe. So thank you very much to Willie Smith. Let's go ahead and give you your flowers, as they say right now. So here you go. Super chat from Willie Smith. Keep pounding and keep stacking. So, one of the things I've been sharing with you guys is we have travel plans in place for the season, but we don't have any for Green Bay and we don't have any for San Francisco. So we're getting closer, but we're still not there yet. So that's where this funding will go to if we're able to get it. King Rock jumping in here with the super chat. Thank you very much. Super chat. King Rock says, got you, Chris. Thanks for everything that you do. Hey, King Rock, I appreciate you. And I'm going to just put this on the screen as well. Not that. I'll put this right here. So anybody that has the ability to and would like to continue to support what we do and help us stay on air and continue to grow, there's the Cash App link for you to use Cash App and send us anything if you can, if you like to, if you want to. So let's continue to break down this game for you. Let's go into some things from the locker room. We don't have a lot that came out of the locker room, but one thing that I do want to share with you guys, and this was put out there by Joe Person, saying that Rico Dowdle said he talked to Bryce Young after the game, and Bryce said he was going to be fine. You take that for what it's worth. You probably saw when I'm forgetting the actual name. I'm going to call him Cheetah. When Cheetah got injured, and he's thumbs up and saying I'm okay. These guys are going to say they're okay as long as they're not dead. That's just a football player, especially at this level here at the NFL, that unless they're dead, they're going to say I'm fine. So good to hear from Rico that he checked with Bryce, but we're going to wait until Coach is able to give us some more information about Bryce before we determine how fine Bryce is. So I think that gets you guys all up to date with the press conferences and the locker room, and he got that picture of Bryce. So we're going to continue to rock on with the show here and give you some more information. So I told you we got stats, and we do have stats. Let's talk about the stats from today's game. Let's start with our passing, because we had 2 quarterbacks in the game for us today, Bryce Young and Andy Dalton. So here's Bryce Young's stats: 15 of 25, 138 yards, 1 TD. A little bit low on the completion percentage. Dropped a little bit on the yards per pass type of thing, with an 88.4 rating. Andy Dalton comes in. He goes 4 of 7 for 60 yards with an 8.6 yard average. No TDs, no interceptions. So overall for the offense passing today, we had 198 yards, 1 TD. I'll take it. I'll take that all day long, because what I had said pregame is that Bryce Young just needs to not turn the ball over. If we get a Bryce Young that doesn't turn the ball over, we have a chance to win. Now, the offense as a whole just kind of looked a little off today, right? We didn't get – I can't wait to get the passing chart, which might be out. You know, I put the pass charts out there, pass chart, receiving chart, and running back chart out there every day after the game, right? I don't think Bryce Young took many shots down the field. I'm going to actually see if I can pull up that chart right now. It's usually not available until tomorrow. But let me just quickly see if I can bring that up as we talk about these stats, and we'll continue to move through everything. Keep those comments coming, please. I love the comments. Let's see. All right. This is what, week 7? Yeah, so the charts are out. And I don't know, mixed bag of opinion on me for the passes. But Bryce did throw 2, 4, 6, 8 passes at or behind the line of scrimmage. 8 passes at or behind the line of scrimmage. And then he had 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 at 0 to 10 yards. So 8 line of scrimmage and less, 9 line of scrimmage to 10. So I think quick math, that is 17 pass attempts that did not go further than 10 yards. 17 pass attempts that did not go further than 10 yards. And I'll put this back on the screen here. 17 out of 25. I don't like it. But, you know, that's what happened today. Let's go to check out this rushing, okay? The rushing for today. And we're going to talk more about this tomorrow. Hold on a second. I got to multitask here. All right, give me just a second again. Lots of. All right, sorry about that. But again, lots of action going on today. So again, you only see me, but on game days, it's several other people. So I had to communicate some things and push some photographs out that we got. So if you guys see that photograph of Bryce Young in a boot, make sure that they tag Charlotte Vibe, because we are the ones that took that thing. That one right there. And I'm not proud that he's hurt. I'm just happy that we got coverage. I'm happy that we won. I'm happy that our Charlotte Vibes continue to grow and get better at the things we do. I'm happy that you guys are enjoying the coverage, that you're supporting the coverage. And that really continues to motivate me to, like, hey, how much better can we be? What else can we do? How many more players can we get involved? How many other coaches can we talk to? So, again, quick pause. Thank you guys sincerely for your support and the growth of Charlotte vibe, and I know it helps when we're winning, right? Helps a lot. But let's go back to this rushing. And here we got Rico Dowdle, 17 attempts, almost 80 yards, 79 yards, a 4.6 yard average. Chuba Hubbard, 14 carries, 31 yards, a 2.2 yard average. Andy Dalton got in a few runs, Bryce Young got in a few runs, and Jimmy Horn Jr., who I'm not mad at for getting some reps and taking the jersey away from Hunter Renfrow, 1 carry for 7 yards. So, I mean, you're looking at it right there. Same game, Rico had about twice as many yards as Chuba did. So, I'll think about this more, but my thought right now is, okay, Rico played unbelievably out of his mind, ridiculous for the past 2 games. And then you want to give Chuba a chance to lose his job and not necessarily let him lose his job due to an injury. And so you split the carries pretty much evenly today. And, you know, I think that Dave Canales could sit down and have this conversation with Chuba to say, hey, Chuba, we're not saying that we're done with you, but we still just believe that Rico is just in some kind of crazy zone right now. Rico is running out of his mind, and we're just going to do what's best for the team, and we're going to let him have a primary role, but we're going to keep you involved heavily. We're going to be creative with ways to keep you on the field and keep you doing things, but we can't ignore. I feel like I'm practicing the speech that I want Dave Canales to give, and so that Rico gets more play. I certainly am not like over Chuba, but I just feel like this is a moment to continue to build on. I'll just put this on the screen one more last time since I was talking about it. You guys couldn't see it. Again, Rico 17, 79, 4.6. Chuba 14, 31, 2.2. All right, let's keep on moving along. Let's go to the receiving side, because I said this earlier about Xavier Legette. I said, man, he's having a good little game, right? He's not doing too bad, and he kept doing it, and he kept doing it, and he kept doing it. So once again, I want to play a little round of applause for my man Xavier Legette as he is improving. And man, what could be finer than having T-Mac be who he is? Xavier Legette grow, get some options. But nevertheless, let's put this up here on the screen so you guys can see it. Xavier Legette, 9 receptions, 92 yards, 10-yard average, and had a touchdown. 11 targets. 11 targets. Man, that's a lot of targets. Tetaroa, they shut him down. And when I say shut him down, you know, him having 5 targets and Xavier having 11, it means the coverage was heavy on T-Mac. But T-Mac, three catches, 33 yards. Chuba with 2 for 24. Mitchell Evans, 2 for 24. Rico, 1 for 17. And Jimmy Horn Jr. getting a catch as well. So Jatavian Sanders in his first game back was not able to get any receptions. And man, and neither was Jalen Coker. I don't know the snap count for these two, but I felt like Jalen Coker would get. I felt like Jalen Coker would get about 40% of the snaps is what I predicted previous to the game. I don't know what it is. I know I didn't see him out there like a ton, but I know I didn't see him out there just very little either. And Jatavian Sanders, just a matter of working these guys back in. That's all it is, just a matter of working these guys back in. And Jalen Coker was returning punts initially. Did it one time, took him out. Don't know why that was. Maybe that's too much, or saying things are going well, we don't have to do that. But nevertheless, let me throw this back on the screen one more time with a little hand clap for Xavier Legette. Nearly a 100-yard game, 11 targets, caught 9 of them. That is great for him. And Tetaroa coming in there second, and Chuba coming in there third with his 3 catches. Now, his Carolina Panthers defense, they've been playing some good ball and are responsible for this victory today. A low-scoring game, 13 points. Yeah. By the way, Jatavian Sanders had a drop today that was that was right behind me as well. Jatavian Sanders drop, and that thing was almost costly, man. If he had caught that, that would have continued to put us in some pretty good position to put more points up on the board. We absolutely should have had more points today. Had some turnovers that didn't allow. Well, had some penalties that pushed us out of position to get those points, but nevertheless, I think I missed one of the super chats, so let me make sure I get this. From Loud Pack Luck, hopefully I said that correct. Jaycee Horn should get a game ball today. Let me see if the Carolina Panthers have put out their post-game thing with the speech and everything that went on. They've been doing that lately. Don't know if they did it yet today. But, yeah, Jaycee Horn absolutely should have got a game ball today. And, you know, it was funny when he got that interception in Jacksonville. And he was talking about it. He said, man, my dad's hard on me. Don't give me much love. He's kind of like, yeah, that was good, but what about a win? Let's get some wins, son. So you got to think that with the media attention that the first one got, that he had 2 interceptions today, and the Carolina Panthers got a win. Not only did they get a win, they got their 3rd win in a row, and they got a win on the road. That I would like to think that Jaycee Horn got a call from Mr. Horn, or will get a call from Mr. Horn and say, hey, man, congratulations to you. You've earned a little bit softer love. I don't have to give you the tough love anymore. Appreciate that super chat. All right, let me check my notes here, see if I had anything else I want to get at with you guys before I jump out of here. So we did have some injuries today. Again, we're going to continue to follow up with the Bryce Young injury as we get more information about that. Princely, he had some injuries where he was going in and out dealing with that back. So we'll be looking to get you guys more information about that Princely injury. And then I want to talk about one more thing before I get out here, and also plug the Day After show, which airs tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we go into talking about this and a lot more. And it's a show dedicated to your questions. What do you want to talk about? It's a call-in show. I have more time to interact with you guys on that tomorrow than I do today while I'm here live on the field. And before I get out of here, we're going to go over the current standings for the NFC South. And I'm also going to talk about the Jets. They benched Fields, and then they had Tyrod Taylor come out. And, man, he presented some challenges. Coach for the Jets said he wanted a spark, and he definitely got one. The biggest thing that I noticed when Tyrod came in there, we were still getting pressure on him. But he was able to do little things like do a shoulder dip or just turn a little bit, twist. He wasn't necessarily taking off to immediately run the ball, but he was kind of like Olaying our guys, right? Just doing just enough to make the defender miss, buying time, and then keeping his eyes up and getting the ball downfield. That was definitely a big difference when Tyrod Taylor came in than when Justin Fields was in there. And I'm going to even share with you guys the stats. I don't have it broken down completely, but what I do have is pretty much going to tell the story, because he came in, I think, about the last possession on that first half, and he played the entire second half. First half, Jets had 46 yards passing. 46 yards passing. Tyrod Taylor came in and he had 126. Now, what did he do that Justin Fields didn't do? He said, well, I don't fear Jaycee Horn. I've been in this league long enough. I know how to play guys like that. And he threw 2 interceptions to Jaycee Horn. So that's kind of like the give and take with that. But Tyrod Taylor, I don't know if he's the answer. Of course, he's the older guy. He's not the long-term answer. But he may be a guy that needs to give Justin Fields a break so that he can get into some kind of rhythm and play some better football, because it was a noticeably different atmosphere, different results when he got into the game. Let's go ahead and take a look around the league before we get out of here. Scores from the NFC South is what we're going to focus on, and we're going to first go over the standings. So currently, NFC South led Tampa Bay Buccaneers are 5-1. Atlanta Falcons are 3-2. In second place, Carolina Panthers are technically in third at 4-3. and then your New Orleans Saints are 1-6. So let's also see if we can't give you the scores from those games before I get out of here. All right. By the way, Green Bay Packers, which we play later on this year, they are currently losing to the Arizona Cardinals. Green Bay currently has 3, Arizona Cardinals 6, and that is with 1 minute and 7 seconds remaining in the second quarter. The Atlanta Falcons play tonight, so they have yet to play. They play the night game against the San Francisco 49ers at 8:20. The Saints lost to the Bears. Final score in the Bears and Saints. The Bears 26. Your Bears 26. The New Orleans Saints 14. And Tampa Bay plays on Monday night. Tampa Bay plays the Detroit Lions, so that should be a pretty good game. Tampa again currently 5-1. They're taking on the 4-2 Detroit Lions tomorrow night for Monday Night Football. So those are your updates. Let's see if I can get to a few questions before I get out of here. I always like to try to save a few minutes for some questions that you guys may have before I get on out of here. Now, I'm going to step to the side for a second. This is commitment. This is the commitment I have to you guys. You'll see there's no other media. I am New York City, the mecca of everything, especially media. I'll pan later on before I get off finally, but you'll see there is no one else on this field but me. All right, so let's go ahead and see if we can't get to a few comments before we get out of here. All I got to say is Rico, Jaycee, Derek. All right. Say it. Eric said he has to go back to work. Got to go, unfortunately, because I'm watching at work. Peace out, everyone, and keep pounding. All right. Appreciate you taking your break and joining us. That's good stuff. See if I can't get to a few more comments before I get out of here. And Loud Packlack, did Bryce Young break something? No, he did not break anything. He did not break anything. I don't know the exact injury, but he's just in a boot due to hurting his ankle. So did not break anything. Bryce Young did not break anything. He's just dealing with some type of ankle injury that has him currently in a boot as they fly back to Charlotte. Mr. T, what was our offense doing out there? Yeah, the offense just never got clicking today. I wonder what the time of possession was, even though that doesn't really matter for much. But our offense today, I don't know, man. I don't know if Coach. We got to remember not to always give him grace for everything, but I always like try to identify with where we currently are. Maybe he got too many new weapons back and was kind of unsure of exactly how to continue to do what he's been doing and then implement those new weapons in there, right? So new weapons, Jatavian Sanders, that's a new weapon. What do we do? Do we try to get him the ball? Do we just try to, this, I don't know, but that's my thoughts, right? Jalen Coker, what do we do? Do we do this? Do we do that? So it was just weird. It was just weird the way that the offense looked today. And I just feel like they, doesn't take shots. But I will say this. And this is something for you guys to think about. Would you rather have seen a more aggressive offense, particularly with the passing part, and Bryce throwing interceptions? Or would you have liked to see Bryce be a game manager? Bryce just don't lose the game. Bryce give us a chance. And we get our first victory on the road this season. And then maybe Coach Canal says, okay, next away game, which is going to be Green Bay, let's maybe give him just a hair more that he can do. But you're right. The offense did leave something to be desired out there. Absolutely did. Knucklehead K says, I'm late. We're back. loaded up for Victory Monday. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. So, hey, I'm going to go ahead and end on that note. Again, thanks everybody for their support. Thanks everybody for their contributions, those donations that came in tonight. Wonderful, greatly appreciated. We're going to continue to do what we do, which is tomorrow we're going to do our live show at 7 o'clock, and that show is dedicated 100% to answering your questions about this game. Hey, it's a call-in show as well, right? So if you got a phone, laptop, I don't know if watch phones allow you to do video or the Meta glasses, but whatever you have that's connected to the internet and has a camera, you can use that to call into the show, join me, whether it's an event, which I can't imagine there's going to be too many of those tomorrow, happiness, a question about football. I'm your guy to help you. You know, that's why I got the title Man of the People. You have a friend in the media, which is myself. And that show's tomorrow. We'll continue to break down things. So, as promised, I want to show you guys what this looks like, being the man of the people, and show you just a little view of the stadium right now as it is. So, as you see, these people right here just came out. But I'm just going to give you a quick pan of what MetLife Stadium looks like about an hour after the game. Yeah, Charlotte Vibe is the only one out here on this field bringing you live coverage, in-depth photos, videos, press conferences, breaking it all down for you and more. I don't mind. I love it. I love what I do. I love the support that I've been able to get from you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Chris Jenkins reporting live from MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey for Charlotte Vibe, covering the Carolina Panthers.